Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So we'll start with prayers. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So, in the beginning of 8th chapter, Krishna explained, Arjuna inquired, then further Krishna started explaining about different types of body which we get when we take birth. So, what is the deciding factor which decides what kind of body we are going to get? That Krishna explained, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram. At the time of death, the state of consciousness which you carry, that state you will achieve without fail. Suppose somebody is carrying the state of the mind is, he is very much attached to something, any personality or any activity. So in the next life, he will get that kind of body. So state of mind continues. And suppose your state of mind is like animals, so you will get the body of animal in the next life. Hence Krishna says that if you want to solve the problems of your life for eternity, you want to close down this suffering once for all, then you take my shelter. Ant kale chamam eva. Mam eva means certainly you remember me at the time of death. Then what will happen? You will come to me without fail. And hence Krishna asked Arjun, Tasmat sarveshu kalesu mamanusmar yuddhacha. Therefore, O Arjuna, because the principle is मरते समय जिसको आप याद करेंगे वैसा बन जाएंगे आप, और या आप वो स्टेट अचीव कर लेंगे. सो कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं अर्जुन को कि so following this principle you think of me, so you will get body like me, spiritual body. And how to think of Krishna at the time of death? When we have practiced sufficiently throughout our life thinking of Krishna. So hence Krishna is saying that Tasmat sarvesu kaleshu ma manusmar yuddhacha. You perform your duty by thinking of me, and your mind and intellect should be attached to me. That is the understanding explained by Krishna in this verse. Then Krishna says further, I will share the screen. From verse number 9 onwards, Krishna says, one who meditates upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. So in this verse number 9th of 8th chapter, it explains about the characteristics, qualities of Krishna. So one by one you can read in the purports. Prabhupada has explained very nicely in the purport. Who is the oldest? Krishna is the oldest person. So because many times people think that God is the creator, so God must be very old. So in the picture they design, they will make an image of the Lord who is very old, having gray hairs and wrinkles are there on his body. So like this they will draw some painting, something like that. But actually here it is said, yes, he is the oldest person, but now Yauvanamcha, he is always youthful. He is not old. He never becomes old. Time is not influencing the Supreme. We are influenced by the time, not the Supreme. Krishna is not under the influence of time. So he is the oldest and he is the controller. Krishna is the controller. Krishna becomes smaller than the smallest. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that Atma is the smallest indivisible particle, 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. Atma. And Krishna in the form of Paramatma, he is so small that he enters even that Atma also. And Krishna resides in the heart of the soul. One is our this physical heart, another is the heart of the soul. So Paramatma sits in the heart of the soul, means soul is there inside our body, and that the dimension of soul is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. So that very infinitesimal part, in that also Paramatma enters and sits there. So that is the omnipotency of Krishna. So therefore, it is said is smaller than the smallest, maintainer of everything. Now Krishna is the maintainer also. He is maintaining everyone. Upadrishta and Anumanta. In 13th chapter, Krishna says, I am maintainer and sanctioner. Krishna sanctions your desire, and Krishna only maintains us. We are not the one who is maintaining ourselves. Krishna is maintaining ourselves. This we have to understand. We should never ever come to the paradigm of becoming the Lord and the maintainer and controller. Many times we tend to think that we are maintaining our family, society, nation. If we don't put our mind or intelligence, then things will collapse. Things will not run. This nature, this system, this will be collapsed, and it will not run. No, everything is maintained by Krishna. Thousands of years ago, people were thinking like that if I'll not be there, if I don't maintain, then how it will be maintained. But today they are not there, things are running. So this is our sheer foolishness to say that मेरे बिना कुछ नहीं होगा. ये गलत. 500 साल पहले लोग भी बोलते थे कि मेरे बिना कुछ नहीं होगा, लेकिन आज उसमें से कोई नहीं है, but still the world is continuing. So world will remain, world will be maintained, world will continue. It is we, it is I, it is you who will not be there. So as long as we are here, we should at least develop this understanding that Krishna is the maintainer, he is maintaining ourselves. We should not artificially try to become the maintainer. Okay. So these points, if you understand, then it brings about humility. And a person who is humble, who has developed humility, he only can practice spiritual life. Otherwise, if you are puffed up, you are very, in the egoistic situation, then you will not practice bhakti. You will think that everything is coming from me. I am the maintainer, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer. So you will be in another kind of paradigm itself. So you will not practice bhakti. Bhakti can be practiced by a person who is humble, who understands that I am not the controller, everything is controlled by somebody else. So that somebody else is not NASA, that somebody else is not ISRO or DRDO, that somebody is Krishna. Here Krishna is saying himself. And Krishna is maintaining through his inconceivable potency. And here in this verse, Krishna is also saying he is a person. Krishna is a person. He is not the energy. He is not the energy. He is a person. So this we should understand, that he is a person, he is maintaining this whole universe through his Achinta Sakti, inconceivable potency. Inconceivable potency is potency by which Krishna has got multifarious potencies, and by his different potency, he is maintaining this material universe, cosmic manifestation. So just see, by his inconceivable potency, he has created a system by which all the planets are floating in the sky. They are sustaining. See, Earth is also floating. A whole this cosmos, this planetary system, galaxies, stars, all are floating in the sky. Sun, moon, planets, the whole cosmic manifestation is floating in the sky. How it is floating? By the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Okay. So Krishna says that because you have to think of Krishna, so we'll achieve Krishna. So Prabhupada writes in the purport a very wonderful analogy of caterpillar. So if you have heard, or if you know, that caterpillar is an animal and it keeps thinking about butterfly by seeing, because butterfly it flies. So caterpillar, by seeing, it starts thinking, oh, if I also can fly, if I also can fly. So because caterpillar is thinking, so one day caterpillar gets transformed into butterfly. Caterpillar becomes butterfly and it starts flying. In the same way, if we keep remembering of Lord, we keep thinking about Krishna, we keep chanting of Krishna's name, then we'll also achieve body like Krishna. Not that we'll become Krishna, but we will get the body like Krishna, spiritual body. That's the analogy here given by Prabhupada. So from 8.10 to 13, Krishna explains about Dhyana Yoga, how to think of the Lord at the time of death. Then the verse number 15 is very important verse. Krishna here saying, now from verse number 15 to 20, these verses are revolutionary verses. Here in these verses, Krishna is explaining about Paramam Gatim. Paramam Gati means supreme destination, highest destination. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, Mam upeti punar janma dukhalayam ashasvatam napuvanti mahatmana sham siddhim paramam gata. Means Mam upet, अगर आप मुझे अचीव कर लेते हो, Mam upet, if you attain me, पुनर्जन्म दुखालयम, इस दुख के घर में, दुखालयम अशाश्वतम, this word Prabhupada has used many times, this dukhalayam ashashvatam. If you read Prabhupada's books, then every now and then invariably you will find this line, dukhalayam ashashvatam. It explains the nature of this material world. This material world is called dukhalayam and asashvatam. Dukhalaya means dukha ghar, ashashvatam means temporary manifestation. So this material world is called temporary manifestation and miserable world. See, and if we try to be happy in this material world, then it is possible? No, not possible. Dukhalayam, ये दुख का घर है, कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं खुद. This 8.15th verse, Krishna is openly saying, this world is full of miseries. Just like if you go in the Pustakalaya, you will get all the books. Pustakalaya means you will only get books. And Vidyalaya, you will get Vidya. Similarly, Dukhalaya, you will get only Dukha. Dukha, you will get miseries. And if in bits and bytes, if you get happiness, that too also, that happiness will be ashashvatam, temporary. Ashashvatam means temporary. It is not long lasting. It will not sustain for long time. So this is the very important verse, revolutionary verse, which explains the nature of this material world as Dukhalem Ashashvatam. So we should always remember that this word is called Dukhalem Ashashvat. यहाँ दुख ही दुख मिलेगा, इस वर्ल्ड में हम रह के खुश नहीं हो सकते. Just like if a person plans that how to be happy and peaceful in the jail, can he be happy and peaceful in the jail? No, in the jail he can never. So what should he do? He should try all the ways and means to get out of the jail. Then only he can be happy. If he gets out of the jail, he will go to his home where he can get all the facilities, all the luxuries, all kinds of desirable foods which he was desiring in the jail. In the jail, whatever he will desire, he will not get. He will get according to the laws, the system of the jail. He will get, but he will get according to the system, law and order of the jail. Now, if he desires to eat paneer or pizza, burger in the jail, they will not get. Now, if he wants to do advancement in the jail, one day I will change this jail in a very beautiful place where all the prisoners will get pizza, burger, and paneer sabji every alternate day. So you bring about, uh, our revolution in the jail. So that is not going to help. That is foolishness. To bring about a revolution in the jail and facilitating for the prisoners paneer sabji and pizza burger, nice food stuff to eat, nice place to sleep, nice sense gratificatory objects. So now some people, few people gather one place and start planning like this, that one day we'll bring about revolution in the jail, all the prisoners will get all the facilities. So is it a good decision? Is it a very nice planning? Good thinking? No, any sane man will not be in the favor of this planning. A sane man will say that, oh my dears, what are you planning here? You're not, first of all, this jail is full of miseries. And second thing, this here you're not going to be permanently here. So if you want a good life, you plan to get out of this jail. You rectify yourself. You reform yourself. Therefore, jail is also called reformatory center. If you go in the jail, Agra, if you go, no, not Agra, Tihad, you go. Agra mein to pagal khana hai. If you go in Tihad, you will see in front of the jail, big letters, it will be written reformatory center. Because prisoners are reformed over there. It is reformation center. More quickly you reform, more you will have the provision to get free from the jail. Similarly, in this material world, more you reform yourself by chanting the name of Krishna, by worshipping Krishna. Because this world is like a jail. We are all criminals. We have committed crimes against Krishna in this spiritual world. And therefore, we are put into this material world, which is exactly like jail. Exactly like jail. You can just compare, replicate the analogy of jail into this material world. Perfect replica this material world is of the jail. According to this line, Dukhalayam Ashasutam. So here in this material world, despite of all our plannings, efforts, endeavors, we are not going to be happy. We are not going to enjoy our luxuries. You develop all kinds of luxuries, you invent all kinds of scientific and engineering marvels. One day you are out of scene. So what is the use? Now others will enjoy. Now if you think that my sons will enjoy, my daughters will enjoy, how long they are going to stay, sir? They are also not eternal. They are also not going to sustain for eternity. So nobody is going to sustain. So for whom we are doing all these things? All the scientific and engineering marvels and exploring space and water and developing countless ways to tantalize the senses. What all we are doing, but for whom? Nobody is going to stay here. So it is, equally foolishness as if somebody plans in the jail to be happy. It is as good as jail, and if somebody plans to be happy here in this jail, so he is not very intelligent. He is considered less intelligent. So intelligent person should plan that how can I get out of this jail? And that is explained here in this verse, that Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalema shasvatam napnuvanti. We will never again come back to this temporary material world which is full of suffering. How? If we take shelter of Krishna. If we worship Krishna, if we chant Krishna, then we'll leave this world and go back to Krishna. Otherwise, we'll keep rotting here in this material world. Cycle mein ghoomte rahenge, one after another, life after life, years after year, millennium after millennium, Brahmanda after Brahmanda. We'll be keep suffering in this material world. So therefore, we should take shelter. We should search. We should seek the refuge in the shelter of Krishna and be happy. And then this verse Krishna says, आ ब्रह्म भुवना लोका पुनरावर्तिनो अर्जुना. इस ब्रह्मांड में आप भले ब्रह्मलोक में चले जाएं. Brahmlok is the topmost lok in this material world, where Lord Brahma sits. So even have many times people think that Swarga is the highest and that is the goal of life. No, Swarga is also part of this material world. And as long as you are here in this material world, you will suffer. Even in the heavenly planets, people die. Okay, happiness is more, but just like in the jail, there are third class jail, fourth class jail, fifth class jail, and there are second class jail, there are first class jail also. When these top, celebrities or Bollywood actors and big politicians in any kind of, if they are caught somewhere in some, crime, then they will be put behind the bars, like Shahrukh Khan, Salman Khan or Sanjay Dutt. Many times these people, they have visited jails. So now if they are in the jail, they are not in that same situation where other prisoners are also there. They are kept in a very, first class jail where all the facilities are there. TV will be there, good facility to eat, good facility to sleep. Such kinds of jail they are sent. These big people, politicians, and it's like Shrima, what was his name? Malya, Vijay Malya, he was sent to jail. So he was not like any other ordinary prisoner. So he was sent to a good, reputed jail. But ultimately, jail is jail, whether first class jail or fifth class jail. Now, if a fifth class jail person thinks that no, I should switch myself to get into first class jail, and he works very hard to switch. Now he is working, putting all the energies in switching his jail from fifth class to first class. So this is not the real intelligence. Intelligence is you permanently switch yourself from this jail itself and get out of the free world, get out of that jail and achieve this free world, and here you can enjoy very nicely. In the same way, in this material world, if we try to raise ourselves from the earthly planet to heavenly planet to even Brahmaloka, the topmost planet of this material world is Brahmaloka, where Lord Brahma resides on the lotus. That is also not safe place. From there also you can fall down and suffer here in this material world. Therefore, Krishna is saying, "Mam upete tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate." Again, इससे पहले वाले श्लोक में भी कृष्ण ने बोला था, "Mam upetya," you take shelter of me, you come to me, you achieve me. In this verse also again Krishna is repeating that if you don't take my shelter, then you will be keep rotating in this material world from Brahmaloka to Patal-loka. But if you take my shelter, Mamupetya tu kaunteya, O Arjun, you will come back to me and you will never take birth in this material world. Punarjanmana vidyate, you will again never take birth. So this is what Krishna explains till 16. Now, in verse number 17, Krishna has explained the life of Brahma, which is very, very exceptionally, beautiful. It appears like so grand life Brahma is living. 311 trillion 40 billion. That this is the duration of Brahmaji. But that is in our respect. But in the respect of Brahma, he is also living as we are living. As much as our life is short, that much Brahma's life is also short. It may appear for us to a very fancy life is leading, but it is in the respect of Brahma's duration, it is very less. So from tomorrow we'll see this from that. So here we'll stop. Thank you very much.